Now, if you know me, you know that I love cars, and I mean love. See a Lightning McQueen cult down the street? Yeah, that was me. But the game, I mean, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. I mean, it is cars. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't know. Anyways, let's find out as we review it and in just another review of Cars, the video game. Chapter 1. Alright, so Chapter 1 starts with the dream sequence. How original. The Radiator Springs Grand Prix, which, fun fact, was an early concept from the movie. For the first race, it ain't so bad, actually. Though the CPU is a bit slow. Then after that, we get to... Sorry. We get to race some British people. And now the game sucks because we get to race women. The track is basically the first one, but reverse. After we beat women, we go tractor tipping with Hick, and we get new controls here too, with the analog stick controlling meter instead of the A button, which instead is used to honk the horn. Now we're racing on dirt with the old guy with the old voice. The guy I only know from this role alone. The man, the myth, the legend, Paul fucking Newman. It's a 2-act affair, just like the one I had with my wife. First, a lesson on how to power slide, our drift mechanic in this game. Then a regular race. And now that that's done, we move on to a funny NASCAR race, which spices up the gameplay a bit, as instead of 3 laps, we get 12 with 19 CPUs instead of 4. But they're still slow as fuck! Anyways, let's get on to the next chapter. Chapter 2 starts with us playing as Luigi. No, not that one. Perfect! Anyways, we play as Luigi and we drive around looking for tires. There's also a time limit, so that's cool, I guess. So, do you remember George Carlin? That one comedian who was a narrator for Thomas and was considered one of the most found-loved comedians? Well, he has a character in the series, Fillmore. You get to race him to get a new power-up. Boobs! Wait, hold on. I wrote boobs in the script. I meant boost. You'll start out with a small amount, but progress the story and you'll unlock more. And again, we race the colonizers from Chapter 1. With this race, you start to notice that the tracks are getting a little longer. Sarge's Boot Camp is a timed jumping challenge with 3 acts, each getting more hurdles. And after you get through Sarge's Gauntlet, you get to race them yourself. These tracks are getting more and more longer by the day. And now for another NASCAR race. This time taking place in the track from the beginning of the movie. If you can't tell, each chapter ends with a NASCAR race. We continue the game with Chapter 3. We started with the backwards driving lesson with Mater. It can be a bit annoying. You have to flip around when the game tells you to, but that's not my problem. Our problem is that it takes place at night. Meaning, if you either have poor eyesight, or you're playing the game at daytime, and the sunlight is blocking the TV, you're going to have a bad time. And trust me, this isn't the last we'll see of night races. Thankfully, you can just skip it, because the only thing you unlock is the ability to backwards drive, which is pretty much useless, so yeah. Next is a race with Sheriff, and again, it takes place at night, so get ready to crash into everything because of the white turning the game has, and you're not able to see anything. Once you win that, you unlock another minigame, Sheriff's Hot Pursuit. Here you have to catch 3 speeders. He's a bit slower and has a wider turns, which is already a problem with the base game, so yay! Now, did you know that Mater has cousins? No? That's because they're in supplementary material. We get to race them as Mater in the Rust Bucket Racerama. It's 12 laps again, so that's cool. The track is pretty short, so it'll fly by, don't worry. You'll get more boost if you win, so that's cool. Next race is a race with some cars from Queens, New York. It's another standard race, nothing really to talk about. And again, the chapter ends with a NASCAR race. I'm getting less and less to talk about with these NASCAR races. We begin chapter 4 with Sally's wheel well sprint. Right, so do you remember that one scene in Cars where Lightning and Sally drive to the wheel well motel? This is basically just that scene in game form. There's only one lap, but don't think that makes it short. It's long. And if you complete this, you earn a new area. Sylvan Pass. Also, I forgot to mention this in chapter 2, but you won Ornament Valley. That's where the Rust Bucket Racerama took place. Anyways, next up on our chopping block is Doc's checkup. It's another race with Paul fucking Newman. It's your standard dirt race. Nothing else really to talk about. You race the cars from Queens again until Finn Pass Circuit, and again, nothing really else to say. Lightning gets turned into a monster truck in Monster Truck Mayhem. It's pretty fucking cool. However, it controls like absolute ass. You thought controlling regular Lightning McQueen was a little awkward? Well, Monster Truck McQueen controls like, well, a fucking monster truck. Anyways, after that mess, you race the Delinquent Road Hazards in, well, the Delinquent Road Hazards. After which, you get the third and final boost tank. Once that's done, you race the cars from Queens along with Chick Hicks. After pissing off both the Delinquent Road Hazards and Chick Hicks, they enact revenge. Well, in High Speed Heist, you play as the Delinquent Road Hazards and take shit from Mac. After sexually violating Mac, Lightning gets word from Sheriff and gets his revenge by being the shadow of the road hazards and stealing back your stuff, of course. After that, it's the second to final NASCAR race. After winning, Chick gets pissed that he lost yet again. So he and Lightning discussed a Grand Prix, but we'll have to talk about that next chapter. We're on the home stretch, boys. The Radiator Springs Grand Prix is another fucking night race! Why do we even bother? Alright, so other than that, it's just your generic road race. So are the next two races. The Tilfin Pass Grand Prix and the Ornament Valley Grand Prix as well. And the final race is the final NASCAR race. Once that's done, Lightning, Mater, Sally, and Paul fucking Newman drive off into the sunset. Now let's look at the music. Alright, so the music is a mix of licensed songs and original tracks made for the game by a guy named Bruno Kuhn. For the licensed music, we have some punk rock songs that go well with the NASCAR races, and some older 70s rock that goes well with the road races and exploring Carburetor County. And the songs made by Bruno Kuhn can suit well for all three. When I think of music from Cars that's not from the movies, I think of things like the Radiator Springs theme, Monster Stomp, Rooster Tales, and more, all from the soundtrack alone. Racerama had its own tracks made for the game, but they're not as memorable as songs from this game, and we'll talk about that more when we talk about Racerama eventually. So the controls are weird. The driving is fine, it's the turning I have problems with. It's too damn wide! And there are a lot of sharp corners here. Well, why don't you just use the power side? Well, that barely works! I'm sorry. You can move the camera with the analog stick, and change different camera angles as well. There's one that's the default. It's basically the one I use every time I play this game. It's not too close, but it's not too far either. It's perfect. There's one that's too far away for my taste, and one that's on the bumper. That one's way too close, though it makes sense. The gameplay is your generic Mario Kart, but without the items. There's minigames here too that can be fun. My favorite one is the one that you play in the middle of the NASCAR races. Finally. It's a pit stop minigame where you have to hit the buttons the game tells you to. The video's not over yet though. Let's move on to the side dish, the cut content. Alright, so let's go over the cut content, shall we? You know how there were 5 NASCAR races? Well, there was going to be a 6th one, but it's not known why it was cut. There was going to be a race at Radiator Springs with Lizzie as one of the competitors, and it was going to be another night race. Now I see why it was cut. There was a minigame where you have to pave the road as best you planned. However, it was cut. Did have some unfinished cutscenes you can watch if you had the Xbox 360 or Wii versions. And it was in the Java version as well. Did you guys ever play the Java version? I never played it, but it looks interesting, and the OST is pretty good. There was going to be another Doc's lesson. this time when tilting. It was, unfortunately, going to take place at night. There was going to be another licensed song called Go Faster by the Black Crowes. It was probably cut due to licensing issues. And finally, there was going to be another Grand Prix race called East Valley Grand Prix. What this East Valley place is unknown, though it was probably a fourth area. So even though I have been picking on the game a lot in this review, it really does mean a lot to me. I mean, come on. Dicking around in Radiator Springs blew my little 8-year-old mind to smithereens when I was little. Call it nostalgia all you want, but it really does mean a lot to me. And hopefully this video got you to play it, because trust me, it goes up there with SpongeBob Alpha Bikini Bottom, GoldenEye, and Superman 64 as some of the best licensed games the market has to offer. Now that's it for me. If you like the video, you can blah 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 blah. Do what the YouTubers tell you to do, but with my channel. I've also got a Twitter at bingus__4 and a Tumblr at bingus_Goblin. I'll try to update it more. Anyways, that was the video. Now get the fuck out. I need to focus on 100%ing Sonic Adventure 2.